well. So there you go. We get going. 18 points, 8 points, 10 points, 23,950 basically on the Nifty is what you have. The Nifty Bank is starting slightly lower, 51,500. The Sensex is kind of 0.1% lower. Mid-cap index starts about 0.25% higher. So it's mixed. It's all largely in the red. IT is up about 1% or so. The heat map, again, kind of mixed. More down than up, though, at least to begin the day with. Surabhi.
It's all IT on the upside, really. Those are the only names fighting for the bulls right now. TCS, Wipro, Infosys. TCS is doing very, very well. 2.5% up, perhaps expecting this exuberance in terms of large deals to rub off on the Indian space as well. Tech Mahindra is also up about 0.5%. Bharti Airtel, which has prepaid a large chunk of its spectrum dues over, I think, 3,000 crores. That stock's reacting well as well for the time being. But then the list completely fizzles out. Don't have too many other gainers to speak of. Banks are flat. ICICI Bank, SBI, Indices, they're all at the flat line, unable to make up their minds. If you look at the downside of the screen, there's some profit taking coming in on some of the auto names like Eicher, Tata Motors on the lower side, Maruti slightly lower as well. And Reliance is down about 0.5%, which actually brings me to the downside of the screen. L&T, ITC exerting lots of downside weight over here. No excitement in the metal names, global-facing names like Tata Steel. Hindalco also I saw starting off negative. And then nothing's really adding up. Consumers down about, a couple of percentage points. HUL, for instance, lower. Tata Consumer on the lower side. So very quiet on the Nifty. Now it's a 50-point dip, by the way. So 23,900 is in question. Remember, the 200-day moving average comes in around 23,815, 816 thereabouts. So looks like the bulls want to test that. 50 points lower now.
Well, that's right. Let's run you through a few stocks that are doing well. IKS, the stock is up close to around 5%. So had a good listing. It's building on to those gains. You have BGR Energy. That stock as well is up, moving from circuit to circuit. So that's higher. Sagility, we had that initiating coverage report. So that stock, in fact, is buzzing in today's trading session. It's building onto those gains, up close to around 5% as we speak. MobiKwik, yesterday it corrected close to around 7% from the high point of the day. Today it's got back to its winning ways. Exide, on that news that Sudarshan told us earlier today, which is a positive read-through, that stock as well is moving us. AGS Transact, one of those underperformers, that's bouncing back in trade today on very high volumes. And Greaves Cotton's the other one that's holding mildly in the green. What's not doing too well? PC Jewelers coming for profit taking, down 5%. RBL Bank coming out of the F&O ban. Well, that one in fact is down close to around 2%. Just one word, keep an eye out on Zomato today because the Sensex and the FTSE rejig is scheduled for today. So towards the end of the trading session, I think that's another stock that you should be keeping on your radar for the day because of that rejig. You have a note coming from Nuvama that says that's a stock to track for today's trade. Otherwise, more or less, flattish to a mildly negative start. And just one more stock, Granules India. I recall on the day you had that negative news flow, the stock had corrected from around 620 to 520. After that, it went into the F&O ban. And we were saying that it's a high probability that the shorts could get stuck into the system. Take a look at what's happened. From 520, 530, the stock has bounced back and made up all of those losses. That's the power sometimes of short covering, of the shorts getting squeezed out on the wrong side. So after that sharp decline, it's recovered almost all of those losses. So keep an eye out on that one. Prashant.
Absolutely. And, lots of names moving around. By the way, in the index, we got about a 40-odd point cut. Just a few more stocks here. IKS, the listing is from yesterday, listed with a 40% gain, is the top volume-led gainer by far. It's up another 5%. There's MobiKwik. MobiKwik was day before yesterday's listing. Saw some, I think, it came off the highs yesterday, started higher, but 3% higher, big volumes. Sagility is at number 3, volume-led gains, 4% again. So 45, there's that Jeffries note, but stocks basically doubled from when it hit the market. And now, of course, there's this initiation coming. So be mindful of that. Exide, of course, Sud's been talking about. Amar Raja, I think we've highlighted. I highlighted Avalon in the morning with Mitesh, Avalon and Centum with, I think, Siddharth. Avalon is up 7%. Was a big mover yesterday, and there's momentum here, 1,062, and it's got volumes to boot. Look at 63 Moons. 63 Moons, it's not on another circuit, let me put it that way. It's moved up from $450 2 months back to 1,000 plus. And, it's up 3%. Look, about 100,000 shares in terms of volumes as well. Samman Capital, the erstwhile Indiabulls Housing Finance, is up 2.5%. And I can go down the list, but that's it. I mean, in terms of if you wanted to do a volume cutoff on these gainers, that's it. Sai Life is down 1%. I just want to take a quick look at Vishal Megamart as well, which is a listing from day before yesterday. Vishal, of course, hit a 50,000 crore market cap, came to the market at 35,000 crore market cap. 50,000 yesterday ended lower, and it's about 106 odd rupees, 107 odd rupees. It's up about 7 million shares right now.
Just adding one or two more consumer names that are making a move. Swiggy is on the move now, 3% up. Volumes are also picking up on this counter. There's Pratap Snacks, which is interesting this morning, 13% up on Pratap Snacks. And I saw, Liberty Shoes cross by. Liberty is interesting. One or two sessions is just from nowhere. It started to move higher, and this morning as well, there's some green on Liberty Shoes, 6% up.
So on Pratap Snacks, Stallion Asset, yesterday they bought close to 3.7 lakh shares in the company. I think that's something that's excited the street, and that's why that stock is up. Volumes as well, rather high. I think 2.5 lakh shares, we'll never see that. In an entire day, I think it does close to around 5 lakh shares or thereabouts. So very high volumes. That could be one of the triggers why it's moved up.
Absolutely, and we'll have more on this, a little later on the program.